Hey guys, it's John Tom from Total Brohammer, and today I'll be bringing you a community cast sent in by ShetlandApache. So as you can see here, he's actually got a steam tank, which you don't really see nowadays because of the, they were nerfed from Game 1 to Game 2, but he has brought one against the Greenskins. I mean, if you're going to bring a steam tank, Greenskins are your best option. But, Shetland sent me this because he has a very interesting Empire build here. And just taking an overarching look at it, it doesn't look too formidable when you go and look at the Greenskin army over here, which is just huge. But for this army, he's got the Roll of Clear Fights, some Dimgriff Knights, 2 Outriders with grenade launchers, the steam tank of course, 2 swordsmen, he's got 3 Free Company militia, and a Jade Wizard as well as Volkmar the Grim. So very interesting here, very interesting. For the Greenskin player, you can see he's got some Goblin Wolf Riders back here, Margaret's Mangy Marauders. He's got a front line of Savage Orc Biggins, Orc Boys, some Night Goblins, what are those, 8 Pink Loonies? Whichever one the Unbreakable one is. He's got the Gobble Firing Squad over here, the Rusty Arrows, the 2 Night Goblins. He's got a Nasty Skulker protecting them, another Savage Orc in the back, Goblin Big Boss and a Night Goblin War Boss over here, and 2 Orc Boy Biggins, as well as the Spider Riders. So a full 20 stack of Greenskins. Not easy for the Empire to deal with. So his Goblin Wolf Riders are going to be going straight after these Free Company Militia. Thankfully, his Free Company Militia do turn around and start firing into them, so they're going to get some good damage on them. And he's going to get some supporting fire from these other Free Company Militia. And the great thing about Free Company Militia is they actually have decent melee stats at 28 and 25 melee defense, 28 weapon strength. So they can defend themselves against things like Goblin Wolf Riders. So he's going to have these Free Company Militia start shooting at these Morgoth's Mangy Marauders, and these Morgoth's Mangy Marauders are kind of wasting their armor-piercing ammo on these Free Company Militia. He really needs to be saving that, especially since there is a steam tank on the field and Dimgriff Knights. So he was up here with his Outriders and grenade launchers, just getting some preliminary shots into these Orc Boys. As you can see, he's done quite a bit of damage with a volley from each of these guys into each of the Orc Boys. So I guess 2 volleys each. And he's just what the Greenskin player needs to do is start firing with his archers. But ShetlandApache is not stupid, and he's going to be pulling back his Outriders with grenade launchers anytime his opponent seems like he's ready to start firing, just as he's doing right here. So he's getting out of range, and he's all good. Didn't even lose a model. So he sees that his Orc Boys, or Orc Boy Biggins, are way back here, so he's going to get some charges in with his Dimgriff Knights and his Roll of Clear Fights. So we're going to get some good preliminary damage in right there. Over here, Volkmar did get overextended trying to chase off those Morgoth's Mangy Marauders. And now he got surrounded by the Night Goblin War Boss and these Orc Boy Biggins, as well as the Goblin Big Boss and the Mangy Marauders. Shetland's going to come in with some support of the Swordsmen and these Free Company Militia, but unfortunately for Shetland here, the Free Company Militia did have attack orders on Night Goblin War Boss, and since the Night Goblin War Boss wasn't directly in line of sight, the Free Company Militia just started walking up to him, which is very unfortunate. So one way to counter the unfortunate line of sight bug is to have your unit shoot at the biggest thing around there. Like, if you know there's a lord in the middle of a bunch of cav and you're not going to be able to hit that lord, then your Free Company Militia are going to start walking up to it instead of firing. So get them to fire at the cav around them. Now, if the lord is on the edge of the formation, they actually can see it, and then you can try shooting at them. But even then, the bug is sometimes very painful in that respect. Anyway, so, my bad. He is going to be able to get Volkmar out of here with the distraction of the Free Company Militia and the Swordsman. Over here, these Orc Boys have gotten on these Free Company Militia, and these Free Company Militia are shooting into the Orc Boys, trying to help them out. The Roll of Clear Fights on the front line, just holding back a tide of Greenskins here, and he has popped Gorkle Fix It, which will reduce their vigor, charge speed, and speed. But since he's not trying to get away, that's not really going to hurt him too much. ShetlandApache gets a great banishment here that kills quite a few Greenskins and routs off these Orc Boy Biggins. He's going to try to retreat his World of Clear Fights since they are taking a lot of fire from these Goblin Archers. But since the Rusty Arrows are not in support, they're not doing all too much damage, because Goblin Archers, after all, only have 1 AP inherently. So over here, he was able to break this entire line with a little bit of cyclo charging from the Dimgriff Knights, as well as a lot of grenades. And let's look at the kills on these guys. 47, 44. So these guys are doing pretty good. They just buckled this entire side. I mean, you can see where the volleys happen. They're just lined up dead. So these swordsmen were able to chase off some orc boys, but they are getting hunted down by some nasty skulkers, and that's not going to be a good day for them. Volkamar over here is getting hunted by the big boss and the Night Goblin War Boss again, and he is just trying to pull through now. He is he's not where he wants to be right now. But you can see the steam tank is actually going after the Night Goblin Shaman, which actually isn't a great choice because he throws him around too much, so he doesn't get a lot of hits, unfortunately. He is able to get out of there with Volkamar, so that's going to be very good with him. And now he's got a full surround here. He's throwing in grenades, he's got the Roll Ultra Griffiths and the Demon Knight Halberd surrounding these Orc Boys and these Goblin Big Boss and Night Goblin War Boss. So it's looking real good for him. And as you can see, if we take an overarching look, the Greenskin forces are just in tatters. The Empire forces are too, but their important units are okay. Volkamar is really low, and so are their Demigryph Knights and Roll Ultra Griffiths. But the grenade launchers and the steam tank, I don't think that the Greenskins are going to have enough killing power to finish them off. So Shetland sees that the Rusty Arrows are back up over here, so he's going to send his Outriders into melee and get them to run down all these Goblin Archers and Rusty Arrows, which I think is a pretty good choice there. So he's got the steam tank over here just shooting up this Night Goblin War Boss. The Savage Orc Biggins are actually losing to these Free Company Militia, and look, they're firing point blank. Okay, interesting. Now I gotta say, this build is really adventurous, and if his opponent brought many Black Orcs, if he had brought like 2 or 3 Black Orcs in this build, I don't think this build would have worked. But against a Savage Orc / Goblin build, this worked fantastically. And looking at it from the beginning, you were like, this army doesn't look like it makes a lot of sense. How is he going to deal with all these orcs? But he just slowly picks them apart. Granted, his opponent wasn't the best because, what his opponent should have done is seeing that he had such a small front line. Like, he had 2 Demigryph Knights in the front line and 2 swordsmen. He had so many troops, he could have just gone around the edges. And that's what he should have done. He should have enveloped ShetlandApache. But Shetland, being the veteran player he is able to turn this whole situation around. Now these Outriders with the grenade launchers are hit by the smoke bomb, so these nasty skulkers did some good damage on them, but they are able to get away, thankfully. So he's kind of consolidating his forces over here. He really wants to finish off these nasty skulkers because that smoke bomb can be quite clutch in the late game. He's going to get his Outriders to start firing into them, and they are going to tear her out, as well as take a lot of damage in the process. So he's going to turn around and run into these Orc Boys. They're going to tear her out immediately, and there's Volkamar the Grim and a steam tank there. He's got some Goblin Archers over here, and you can see the Outriders are inbound. Over here, his Demigryph Knights have returned from routing, as well as his Roll Ultra Griffiths and 2 very tattered units of Free Company Militia. His caster was thrown off the field by the Night Goblin War Boss, and he is probably going to be killed by him. But over here we got the first shatters from the Greenskins going down. Anything that goes up against the might of Volkamar the Grim and the steam tank together, as well as the grenade launchers nearby, is just going to get absolutely destroyed. And you know, this is actually a great synergy here, because these guys have a ton of armor and are a single entity model, so grenade launchers aren't going to do a lot of damage to them. But if you can get a bunch of infantry to blob around them, grenade launchers can absolutely destroy them. So like, if he wanted to send this guy in, have all like 2 units of Savage Orc Biggins completely surround him, and then use the grenade launchers, that would be amazing. He did use them well though. He used swordsmen as fodder and then kind of fired into the crowd of Greenskins and Empire, and the grenade launchers are accurate enough to mostly hit the Greenskins, so it worked out really well in that case too. But as you can see, we got a lot of shatters going down here for the Greenskins, and they are indeed going to be hit by army losses. Only thing keeping them in the game right now is this Night Goblin War Boss, and he's going to come back, and what's he going to do against a steam tank that's 2/3 health and Volkamar the Grim, as well as a, 8 Demigryph Knights and some more Demigryph Knights with halberds here, 3 of them right here. Yeah, the Greenskins just didn't have what they needed, where they needed to fight off the steam tank. If he had that whole Goblin firing squad, the 2 Goblin Archers and the Rusty Arrows all firing at the the steam tank, it would have gone down fast. And I mean fast, guys. The Goblin Fighting Squad is just no joke. Even when your opponent has 160 armor, the Goblin Fighting Squad can melt some face. But as you can see there, as the Night Goblin War Boss is surrounded, the enemy does get hit with army losses. So let's see the kill counts on some of these guys. There's Volkmar up there with 109 kills. He had a really good banishment. I don't know if he ever got a second banishment off. There wasn't really any blobs by the time his second banishment would have been replenished. But, you know, the Swordsman, surprisingly, got 77 kills. That's pretty good for Swordsman against Greenskins, I gotta say. And the Free Company Militia got some good kills, too. They were able to hold their own. The Demigryph Knights are pretty good. Well, Griffites, 119 kills, always great. Outriders Grenade Launchers, 135, 158, amazing. So these guys were a great choice, being that his opponent brought all lightly armored infantry. The Steam Tank as well with 137 kills did some real work, and the Terror is just invaluable. At first Sandblasted Skin, like I said, I think he had the tools to win this fight. He could have had his Orc Boys just engage across the front line. He could have had his Goblin Archers start focusing on the Steam Tank. He could have bogged down Volkmar with both the Orc Boy Biggins and his Goblin Big Boss and Night Goblin War Boss. And he could send the Savage Orcs around the side while keeping the Nasty Skulkers and the Forest Goblin Spider Riders to defend his Goblin Fighting Squad. So I think I think he had the tools to win. He just didn't use them right. But that's alright. People are of varying skills, and it is a great opportunity to learn. So thanks for sending this in, ShetlandApache. You know I love the Empire, and I really do love this build. It's very situational, and it could easily fail, but you were able to pull it off, so kudos to you, good sir. If anyone else would like to submit a replay for me to cast, you can find my email, totalbrohammer@gmail.com, in the About page of my YouTube channel. But anyway, this is all for this one, guys. This is Jonathan for Total Brohammer, signing out.